Libra, one morning you woke up, and the world just felt quiet. Not the peaceful kind of quiet, but the kind that makes you wonder if heaven hit pause on your story. No dramatic pain, no loud breakdowns, just a stillness, a deep ache inside that whispered, "Did God skip over me?" You kept showing up, holding others together, carrying your responsibilities, trying not to fall apart. And still the doors didn't open, the call didn't come, the help didn't arrive. So you stopped asking, you stopped expecting. You didn't stop believing, but you did stop reaching. And then something changed. Not the circumstances, not yet. But you felt lighter, without reason. You laughed once that week. You noticed beauty in something small. You felt a shift, not around you, but above you. That's when everything started moving, not by force, but by favor. Libra, this is that moment for you. The one where everything begins to flow. The one where God overwhelms you, not slowly, but all at once, and you won't be able to explain it. Before we go deeper, speak this into the comments right now. I receive this blessing with faith. Let your agreement echo through the silence. Let your faith interrupt the doubt. Because what's coming next is bigger than your pain, stronger than your past, and more beautiful than your imagination. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear isn't a prediction. It's divine confirmation, and it's written in your name. When God hid you from the noise. Libra, there was a time, maybe not long ago, when you looked around and felt like life had forgotten your name. You saw others moving ahead, people celebrating wins, doors opening for them, while you waited and waited. You were patient, you were kind, you tried to stay hopeful, but deep down, a question kept echoing inside you. Why not me? You weren't jealous, you just felt left behind. You weren't bitter, you were confused, because you had done the right things. You showed up, you stayed strong and still. Silence. But here's the truth. Heaven wants you to hear today. God wasn't ignoring you. He was hiding you. Yes, hiding you. Because sometimes when something is rare, when something is valuable, it has to be kept away for a while. Not to punish it, but to protect it. Like a precious seed buried in the ground, you were placed beneath layers of stillness. Not because nothing was happening, but because everything was happening underneath. God was shaping you in silence. He was preparing you in private. He was building something inside you that couldn't be rushed. The waiting wasn't wasted. It was sacred. It was heaven's way of making sure the blessing wouldn't break you when it came. Libra, do you remember the pressure you felt? The weight you carried? That wasn't meant to crush you. It was meant to shape you into someone who could carry what's next. Some people around you were promoted before their time, and they fell just as fast as they rose. But you? God said no. He held you back because he knew what he was building in you needed more time. You were hidden, not because you were small, but because what's coming through you is too big to be rushed. And now the silence is lifting. Now the season is shifting. Now the very blessing you thought was denied is about to appear. Suddenly. But it won't come with noise. It won't come with warning. It will come the way heaven always moves, with perfect timing and undeniable favor. This is not a late blessing, Libra. It is a matured one. It has been growing in the dark, just like you. And now, both of you are ready to be seen. The blessing you didn't pray for. Libra, there are blessings that come because you asked. There are blessings that arrive because you worked. And then, there are blessings that find you, even when you didn't know how to ask for them. These are the blessings that feel like light entering a room you forgot had windows. They come softly, quietly, and then, all at once. This next blessing is not one you wrote down. It's not on your vision board. You didn't cry for it every night. Not because it wasn't important, but because deep down, you didn't even think it was possible. Libra, God is not just about to reward what you asked for. He's about to respond to what you held in silence. To the moments you sacrificed for others, even when you had little. To the days you chose peace when you had every reason to rage. To the nights you forgave someone who never said sorry. This is not a blessing built on applause. It's a blessing born in quiet obedience. You didn't do it to be seen. You did it because your heart was pure. And heaven never forgot that. The moments when no one noticed your strength, the times when you clapped for others with a breaking heart, the seasons when you gave love and got silence in return, God saw it all. And now something is moving. Not because you asked for it, but because you lived in a way that made you ready to receive it. This is the blessing you didn't pray for, because you didn't know you were allowed to. You thought you had to settle. You thought you had to shrink. You thought your role was to clap from the sidelines. But God says no. Not anymore. Now it's your turn. Now it's your season. Now it's your time to receive what feels too big, too beautiful, too good to be true. It's real. It's yours. And it's on the way, not because of what you said, but because of how you lived. Libra, get ready, because the most powerful blessings are the ones you never saw coming. Your name is being mentioned. Libra, right now, while you're going about your day, someone is speaking your name. You don't see them. You don't know they're talking about you. You weren't invited to the room. But still, your name is there. In a meeting, in a conversation, in a space where decisions are made, your name is being brought up with respect. You didn't force it. You didn't beg for attention. You didn't push your way in. You simply stayed faithful to your path, and heaven saw it. Now God is moving people, places, and plans into alignment. There's a shift happening behind closed doors, and it has your name on it. This is what divine favor looks like. It doesn't need to be loud. It doesn't need to be seen, but it's powerful. There are people being assigned to bless you, to recommend you, to create space for you, and they don't even know why. They just feel led. Because this isn't a coincidence. It's a divine setup. You won't need to chase this. You won't need to try to earn it. This time the door will open by itself. Why? Because God wants to prove something. To you, and to the ones who doubted you. To the ones who thought your silence meant weakness. To the ones who assumed you'd always be in the background. To the ones who forgot how powerful favor really is. God is about to show them that your name was always written in His plan. You don't need to defend yourself. You don't need to explain who you are, because very soon they'll see it for themselves. So keep showing up with peace. Keep honoring your path. Keep moving with quiet confidence. Because the next time your name is mentioned, it won't be out of pity. It won't be out of gossip. It will be out of honor. And when the door opens, you won't have to knock. It will swing wide, because heaven already gave the permission. Libra, get ready to walk into a space your character qualified you for. Your name is being mentioned. And this time, it won't be forgotten. Why it had to hurt first. Libra, let's not pretend it was easy. Before the light, you walked through darkness. Before the promise, you felt the pain. And before the blessing, you were broken. You didn't break because you were weak. You broke because something inside you needed to be rebuilt. And the only way for God to build the new was to tear down what couldn't come with you. The rejection, that moment when someone chose someone else over you, it felt personal. But it wasn't. It was protection. The job that slipped through your hands, the door that closed in your face, the friend who vanished without warning. None of it was random. All of it had meaning. God saw what you didn't. He saw the traps behind the opportunities. He saw the truth beneath the surface. He saw that some things you were holding on to were secretly holding you back. So He let it break. Not because He didn't love you, but because He loved you too much to let you settle. Libra, you were praying for peace while still connected to chaos. You were asking for new beginnings while dragging old endings. And God knew the blessing He prepared for you would not survive in the same space as your old wounds. So He stripped it all away, piece by piece. He allowed the silence. He allowed the delay. He allowed the lonely nights when it felt like the world kept moving and left you behind. Not to harm you, but to purify you. Some blessings require a clean heart. Some doors can only open when your hands are empty. And some breakthroughs can only come when you stop trying to carry what no longer belongs to you. God wasn't punishing you. He was preparing you. Preparing you to feel safe in joy again. Preparing you to receive without guilt. Preparing you to live without looking over your shoulder. The storm you survived was not the end of your story. It was the cleansing that made room for it. You had to be emptied to be filled. You had to be shaken to be steady. You had to be alone so that the next blessing wouldn't feel like a replacement. It would feel like restoration. Because the kind of blessing that's coming now needs space. It needs purity. It needs a version of you that isn't stuck in defense mode. You're no longer trying to prove anything. You're no longer begging to be seen. You've stopped chasing people who never had the capacity to value you. And now God sees that you're ready. He's seen your surrender. He's seen your strength. And he's saying, now that the hurt has healed, I can begin the harvest. Libra, it had to hurt first, so that the blessing wouldn't just feel good, it would feel right. Divine timing, not your timing. Libra, you had your own timeline. You had a vision in your heart, a moment when you believed everything would finally come together. Maybe it was last year, maybe it was 5 years ago. You circled the dates, you counted the months. You waited with expectation, but nothing happened. You gave it time, you stayed faithful, you told yourself, maybe next season. And still, the breakthrough didn't come. Eventually, the waiting started to feel like a wall. You wondered if you missed something. You asked yourself if you prayed the wrong way. You questioned if maybe the blessing just wasn't meant for you. But Libra, here's the truth. God was never late. He was working in a time zone above yours. You were looking at a calendar. He was looking at your character. You were counting the days. He was building the foundation. You were ready for it to happen, but he was making sure you were truly ready to receive it. There's a difference. Sometimes you think you're ready because you're tired of the waiting, but heaven waits until the weight of the blessing won't break you. That's divine timing. It's not based on pressure. It's based on purpose. And right now, the hourglass is turning in your favor. What once felt stuck is starting to move. What once felt cold is beginning to warm. The air around you may still feel still, but don't be fooled. The shift has already started in the unseen. This message, this moment, is part of that shift. You're not hearing this by mistake. You're hearing this because God is whispering, now. Now is the time I'm aligning everything. Now is the moment I'm connecting the dots. Now is the hour I'm preparing the arrival. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are exactly where you're supposed to be, on the edge of everything you've been prepared for. And even though it's taken time, even though the silence almost made you give up, even though the road has been longer than you imagined, the blessing is still yours. And now it's aligned. Heaven's rhythm is not rushed, it's sacred. And now, Libra, that rhythm is speeding up for you. You may not feel ready, but God says you are. Because the blessing that once felt far away is now approaching quickly, and it's coming with power, purpose, and peace. So trust the unfolding. Even when it doesn't match your plan, even when it feels unfamiliar, even when the steps ahead don't make sense yet. This isn't about your calendar, it's about your calling. And the rhythm of heaven is now accelerating on your behalf. Unexplainable favor, undeniable impact. Libra, this next blessing is going to infuse people. Not because you tried to shock anyone, not because you wanted to be praised, but because what's about to happen in your life won't make sense to the outside world. You didn't have the big name, you didn't have the loud following, you didn't stand in the spotlight, and still, something greater is being given to you. This is the kind of favor that turns heads. It will make people pause. It will silence conversations, because they will look at your life and wonder, how did that happen? And you won't have a list of reasons. You won't have a resume to flash. You won't have a story that sounds impressive. Your only answer will be, God did it. This blessing wasn't built through connections. It wasn't the result of knowing the right people. It wasn't born from trying to prove yourself. This blessing is the direct result of favor, the kind that heaven releases without warning, without explanation, and without asking for permission. Libra, you're stepping into a space that doesn't match what people thought of you. They put limits on your name. They assumed your life would follow a certain path. They saw the surface, but they didn't see the preparation. God saw it all. He saw your late nights. He saw the times you wanted to quit but chose to keep going. He saw the moments when you celebrated others while hiding your own pain. And now he's releasing a level of favor that isn't quiet. It's not small. It's not invisible. It's loud. It's clear. And it carries impact. This blessing is going to change your position. It will shift how others see you. Not because you're better, but because you're chosen. And the beautiful part, you won't have to explain yourself. You won't need to defend why it's happening for you. Because favor cannot be explained, it can only be recognized. People will say, they didn't chase it, they didn't campaign for it, they didn't follow the usual rules, and they'll be right. Because the favor coming to you, Libra, is not from this world. It is heaven sent, it is heaven timed, and it is heaven approved. You're not being rewarded for being perfect, you're being honored for being faithful. So when the whispers start, when the questions rise, when people try to trace how it all happened, smile, stand still, and say the only truth that matters, God did it, and even I don't know how. Because this is divine favor, and it never leaves a trace except His. The signs you're already in it. Libra, sometimes the blessing doesn't announce itself. It doesn't knock loudly. It doesn't always feel like fireworks or big changes overnight. Instead, it begins as a whisper, a soft shift, a quiet knowing that something is different. Even if you can't explain why, you wake up and the heaviness isn't there anymore. Not because everything is perfect, but because your heart feels lighter. You walk into your day and notice that peace is showing up, even in places where there used to be chaos. And even though nothing dramatic has happened, you can feel it. That's one of the first signs. Peace without a reason. Calm without a clear outcome. Hope without needing evidence. Libra, that's not your imagination. That's alignment. That's your spirit recognizing that something from heaven is already moving in your direction. And then it begins. Old things start falling away. Conversations don't feel the same. People drift. Jobs shift. Plans fall apart suddenly, but they don't break you. That's not failure. That's God making room. Room for what you've been prepared for. Room for what can only enter your life when distractions are cleared. You'll notice yourself needing more rest, not because you're tired, but because your spirit is settling into its next level. This is what alignment feels like, a slowing down on the outside so something bigger can build inside. You'll begin to crave silence. You'll start saying no to things that once excited you. You'll feel called inward, not because you're hiding, but because you're becoming. Your body knows it. Your mind knows it. Even your dreams begin to shift. And then the confirmations come. You hear your thoughts spoken by strangers. You see repeating numbers without looking for them. You stumble on messages, words, and signs that speak directly to what you've been carrying silently. You think it's random, but it's not. These are the gentle nudges from above. Heaven is speaking through small things, because your soul is awake enough now to hear them. Don't ignore these signs. Don't explain them away. Because Libra, you're not waiting for the blessing anymore. You're standing in the early waves of it. It's already here, not fully seen yet, but fully alive beneath the surface. You are standing on holy ground. And even if nothing looks different around you, everything has already shifted inside you. That peace you feel, that stillness you didn't used to have, that's the soil where blessings begin to bloom. The blessing is not in the distance anymore. It's not far away. It's not hidden. It's under your feet. It's in your breath. It's in this exact moment. You are not waiting to enter it. You're already in it. Don't sabotage the shift. Libra, you've made it through the waiting. You've survived the silence. You've walked through the preparation. And now the shift is happening. But listen closely. This is the moment where many people turn back. Not because they're weak, but because they don't believe they deserve what's finally arriving. You've waited for so long that hope started to feel risky. You've adjusted to disappointment. You've learned to protect your heart, just in case things fall apart again. But here's the truth. This blessing, the one that's already moving in your direction, requires more than just quiet belief. It needs bold faith. Faith that walks before it sees. Faith that speaks before it touches. Faith that celebrates before the door even opens. You can't afford to be small here, Libra. You can't afford to whisper about what God is shouting over your life. You cannot shrink when this season is calling you to rise. The danger now isn't someone stopping your blessing. It's you not fully receiving it. You've grown so used to waiting that you don't even know how to live like the wait is over. But it is. It's over. This is not the time to doubt yourself. This is not the time to second-guess your worth. This is not the moment to wonder if you're good enough, strong enough, or ready. You are. You are ready, not because you're perfect, but because you've been prepared. So speak like it's already yours. Not in fear, not in hesitation. Speak with full authority. Declare it with power. Move like you already received it. Make space for the blessing. Act like it's already been delivered, because spiritually, it has. Pray like the answer is already at your door, because faith doesn't wait until the proof shows up. Faith makes room before the blessing even knocks. Don't question it. Don't water it down to fit other people's comfort. Don't play small to avoid attention. This is not the season to hide your light. This is the moment to shine fully, boldly, and without apology, because the blessing that's coming to you will only arrive in the space your faith creates. It will meet you at the level of your expectation. So if you expect little, you'll see little. But if you expect everything heaven promised, you will see what you've never seen before. Libra, don't sabotage the shift. Don't get this far and stop yourself. Let your heart open wide. Let your voice get louder. Let your spirit stretch without fear. You've waited long enough. Now it's time to believe like it's real, because it is. The blessing is in motion. Libra, this is not a coincidence. This is not just a video. This is your confirmation. You didn't find this message randomly. It found you because your soul is ready. Ready for what's been waiting behind the scenes. Ready for the kind of breakthrough that shifts not just your mood, but your entire life. Heaven is watching you right now. God has been observing every step you've taken. He's seen the moments no one else noticed. He's heard the prayers you whispered in pain, and he has never left your side. Not once. Now, something is unfolding. Not next year, not someday. Now. The movement has already begun. Things are lining up without your effort. People are being positioned. Doors are preparing to open without your knock. This is not the time to try to understand how it will all happen. This is not the moment to question every detail. Because what God is doing in your life is beyond logic. It's beyond calculation. It's bigger than anything you've imagined. Libra, all you need to do now is stay ready. Stay open in your heart. Stay grounded in your peace. Stay close to your truth. Because when this blessing arrives, it will not come quietly. It will come in waves. And those waves will not stop at your feet. They will reach your family, your future, even people you've never met. This blessing will overflow. It will leave a mark. It will echo beyond your lifetime. You were not being delayed. You were being developed. You weren't forgotten. You were being fortified. And now, the wait is over. You were made for this moment. Every disappointment was a setup. Every delay was a strategy. Every quiet season was a building ground. And now the blessing is in motion. It cannot be stopped. It cannot be stolen. It cannot be blocked. What's yours is on the way, and this time, you won't miss it. So Libra, stay soft, stay expectant, stay in alignment, because heaven is moving, and it's moving for you. If this message touched something in your soul, don't keep it in. Comment below right now. I'm ready for the overflow. Let it be written. Let it be sealed. And if your spirit feels called, subscribe for more divine confirmations, because your story is just beginning. This is your shift. This is your moment. And yes, this time, Libra, you won't miss what's yours.